Welcome back to Good Catalyst Hub. In our channel, we focus on three things. One, the skills you need to upgrade to game. Two, to turbocharge your productivity. Three, to turbocharge your career through both of this. In this episode, we're going to look at what I call as a three-step method to transform your life. It takes anywhere between 30 days to 90 days. But if you give that kind of time, it will definitely clearly transform your life. What are the three steps? Number one, reflection. The reflection will give you an understanding of where you are. Number two, aligning with your future self. What are you going to be in the future? If you can imagine, sit, write it down, chisel it down. And three, if you are here today and if you want to be here tomorrow, what is the plan that will bridge the gap? What is the plan that will take you from here to here? Those are the very simple three-step methodology. Reflect, align, plan, and obviously execute the plan to go forward. Let's jump in. Let's see what these steps are. Let's take the first step, which is reflection. There are many different tools to reflect about. The first tool that I'm going to talk about is the famous Ikigai. Ikigai is a very simple tool which gives you four different windows to think about. One, what are you very passionate about? What do you love to do? There are a lot of things that we love to do. You love playing cricket, you love watching cricket, you may love doing puzzles, you may love just talking to your friends. So there is a list of things, a lot of things that you love to do. So list down what are the things that you really, really love to do. Okay. It could be small, it could be big, it could be different kind of areas, but list down all of those things which you really love to do. That's number one. Number two, what are you good at? What you love to do need not necessarily be what you are good at. For example, let's say I love watching cricket, but if I'm not good in cricket, then watching cricket is what I love, but because I can't play, because my talent is not there, because my skill sets are not there, because I cannot compete at the highest level with other people, my skills are not cricket. My skills are somewhere else. So I need to find out what I love to do, but I also need to find out what am I really, really good at, what my skill sets are, what my talents are. Number three, what does the world really needs? The world has lots of problems. It needs problem solving. It needs people who can go and solve those problems. And it needs people who can provide solutions. And when you provide solutions to the problems, you also get enormous satisfaction. That satisfaction is important. It is important to think beyond one's level. It is important to look at what kind of an impact, what kind of a utility that one can be for solving the problems of the world. And that is another lens with which you need to think through, which will provide you understanding of where you can play a good, sustainable role. The fourth one, what is the world ready to pay you for? What you are good at is very different from what the world requires, can be very different from what the world is ready to pay you for. The world may be ready to pay you for your skills, but only as long as those skills can be applied in a place, area, which the world needs problems to be solved. So if you have got great skills, let's say you are fantastic when it comes to telling stories to kids. But if that is not an area which the world needs problem solving, then that is not something that you will be paid for. So you need to find out what your talents are. You need to find out what you are really, really passionate about. You need to find out what you are really good at. You need to really find out what the problems the world needs solving for. And finally, you also need to figure out what the world is ready to pay to you. When you put up all of these areas, and it will take a lot of time for you to chisel out each of these areas. But once you chisel out, what it does is to find out what are the overlapping areas, all the areas where I'm really, really passionate about and really, really good about. If you take Harsha Bogle, he was very, very passionate about cricket, but not necessarily playing. His talent was talking about it. His talent was commentary. And so passion for cricket and the talent for commentary got together and he started getting paid for that. So you need to find out what you are really good at and what you are really, really interested in, and are there overlapping areas? If there are overlapping areas, great place to be in. The third lens you need to bring in is, can you do something which you will be very feeling very, very good about? When are you going to feel good about it? When you solve problems for other people, when you pitch in for other people, when you do something which is much bigger than you. That is where you need to understand what are the problems that you can solve for other areas that world will be ready to pay to you. When you put off all of these things, it becomes ikigai, the Japanese term, and it will tell you what you really can do and what are the areas that you need to improve upon. When you do this exercise and understand yourself, you will be able to understand which skill sets are required to bridge the gap between your passion and what you're really good at. You may be really good at something which you may not necessarily be passionate about. Passions come and passions go, and they keep changing also. So that is something that you also need to remember. When you do this exercise, you will be amazed to understand a lot about yourself. Please do this exercise. I've given you in the download link how to go about doing this, a methodology, a way to think about it. Please do it. Jot down your points, understand about yourself so that you can move forward to the next step. Second way to think about your priorities and second way to reflect about where you are is to look at a two by two diagram. What are things which are important to your life and how fulfilled are you currently about all of these things? So take number one, work, the money that you're making, the career that you're having, and how fulfilling both of these are. Are you getting growth in your career? So the kind of work that you're doing day to day, the kind of growth you are getting in your work, the kind of money that you're making, all three dimensions which are critical in work, plot in how important for you and how fulfilled are you in all of these three dimensions of work. The second area is all about health, your body health, your mind health, and your heart health, how fulfilled you are. The third dimension, relationship, relationship with your wife, spouse, relationship with your family members, relationship with your friends. So three different dimensions, three points each. So totally nine dimensions. Look at each of them and rank order them as to most important, next most important, next most important. Almost all of these are very, very important to us, but it is important for you to understand how critical are these for you. Within these nine, what would be the most important for you? Is money the most important for you? Is relationship most important for you? Within the relationship, is relationship with your friends most important for you? For the kind of phase and stage of life that you are in currently. That is what we are trying to understand. Rank order that, put it down. And then on the x-axis, you put down how happy are you? Very, very happy? Not at all happy. When you put this, you will be able to understand of each of these dimensions, which dimension you really need to work on. So once you have done this reflection, and I have given tons of material in the download link, please download, look at the methodology, and you can use it completely free of cost. When you do this, you will be able to understand from the first exercise a macro understanding of what your passions are, what you are good at, what the world needs, and therefore what you can get paid for. And when you add this dimension of where you are really, really fulfilled and what you are really, really interested in, what is critical to you as you see it currently, when you join both, your reflection is complete. This reflection should tell you what is really critical for you. The alignment second phase is a very fun exercise, interesting exercise because it allows you to imagine the future self the way you want to be. Who are you going to be 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line? Don't go beyond that. It's very, very difficult to think about 5 years or 10 years from now, what kind of life you need to lead. So 3 to 5 years is a good span of time to think about. Think about 3 years down the line. Think about 5 years down the line. What kind of a person you are going to be? Where are you going to live? What kind of circumstances are they going to be? What kind of a house is it going to be? What kind of a room it is going to be? Is it a room full of books? The way I imagine my room to be? Is it room full of videos? People want to watch movies all the time. Nothing wrong with that, as long as that can become a vocation for them. What kind of a room it is going to be? What kind of a house is it going to be? Is it a house which is calm, quiet? Is it a house which is full of laughter? Is it going to be a relaxed place where people sit down and do their work, or it is going to be all kinds of sounds and cacophony all around, but with laughter all around? So you need to imagine what kind of a house you are going to live, what kind of a room you are going to have, what kind of a person are you going to be. You may be weighing 100 kg plus, but what kind of person that you want to imagine yourself 3 years down the line might be weighing 75 kg. So which means that, roughly speaking, you need to cut down 25 kg going forward in the next 3 years. Not an impossible task, but that is what the imagination of future self allows you to do. So imagine your future self. Think about what kind of person that person is going to be, what kind of house that person is going to live in, what kind of a work that person is going to be doing, what kind of a skills that person would have acquired 3 years from now. Look at all of these aspects: home, room, future, body, thinking, mind, skills. Vividly imagine a person 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, what that person will be, and note down. Now you are ready for the exercise number 3. The third phase is all about planning and execution. You have understood where you are, what is important to you, what you are capable of. You also have understood what you want to be. The 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, your personal self, what kind of a person that person is going to be, what kind of a requirement that person will have, what kind of a person that person wants to become. You have understood both of this. Now, all you need to do is to start bridging the gap. Look at the gap, look at what you are now and what you want to become 3 years down the line, and look at three aspects. One, the kind of skills you need to become this person, the kind of mindset shift that you need to get into to become this person, and the kind of work that you need to do to become this kind of person. So think about your skill set, think about your mindset shift, think about your work, so that you can bridge all of these three gaps, whatever those gaps are. Number one, skill sets. What prevents you from becoming this person at the earliest? What are the skills that you need to acquire? Skills could be hard skills. It could be, to take an example, that you need to master Excel to go from here to here. It could be that you need to master your health, and therefore you need to start shedding 1 kg every month for the next 25 months so that you can cut down that 25 kg. You need to figure out what are the things that you need to do from now to 3 years, one step at a time, in terms of skill acquisition, in terms of understanding the kind of work that you want to do to become this person, to understand the kind of health that you need to acquire to become this kind of person. When you do this planning, you will be able to understand a lot of things needs to be done, but what are the most important things that you need to do now so that you can become this person faster? What can you do? You can think about Pareto principle, 80-20. What are the 20 things that you need to do out of the 100 things which are available on the table, which will give you 80% of the impact, which will move you towards becoming this person? When you think like this, you will be able to have a brilliant plan. So I want you to think about, in the next 30 days, what are the two things that you want to do? Don't go beyond two things. Stay with two things. What are those two things which will propel you from here towards this 3 year yourself in a faster, quicker manner? What are those two things? Note down. Those two things could be skill acquisition. Those two things could be setting your mindset so strong that you become the stronger self that you want to be 3 years down the line. Once you're done, once you are done, once you have written it down, think about what are the micro steps required to become this person. You have done the macro steps. You want to, for example, you want to learn Excel. How will you go about learning Excel? Write down key micro steps. Look at what are things that you will do. Look at how much time you will spend. Look at which tutorial you will go to. Look at when to when you will study. Look at what kind of exercises you will do. Look at what kind of applications you will exhibit, use, so that it is practical and it is imbibed in your work stream. So those are what I call as micro steps. Stay with 2 points, stay with two goals, look at the plan and add micro steps. All of this will ensure that you become that better person very, very quickly. So have a 30-day plan, finish two things. Have the next 30-day plans, finish two things. Have the next 30-day plan, finish two things. When you do like this, you will be able to move from one step to another fluidly, effortlessly. Reflect on all of these three things. You started with the reflection, you started, then you moved on to aligning your current self to the future self. Then, basis both, basis the gap that you have seen, you are drafting a plan of action which will propel you from place A to place B 3 years down the line. Look at all of this. Look at all the material that I have given in the download link, which will give you concrete exercises to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Use the material, think about it, plan your action, add your micro steps. Wishing you all the very best to become that future self very, very quickly.